Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are we doing? You guys know who I am. This is Dylan. I am so stoked. I'm with a lot of my good buddies from recovery. We got Greg behind the camera, my boy Dylan to the right of me, my boy Sam to the left, and we're here to answer all of your questions. We're coming through as promised, and this is Recovering or Former Addicts Answer All of Your Questions.
All right. Do you regret anything? And if so, what?
I guess no. My gut instinct when you first answer that is I felt a little regret, but I don't even know about what. But I'd say mostly through my own step work. I don't know if the viewers are familiar with that, but there's step work that kind of helps us deal with a lot of overarching themes spiritually. And as a result, a lot of regret kind of goes out the window. But I think maybe I just regret the loss of time in how I abandoned some of my loved ones. But then again, on the other hand, if it could have been different, it would have been. So I'd say that's it. Maybe loss of time and how I treated other people and maybe myself.
I kind of can agree with that. I mean, of course, I don't want to say regret because a lot of the shit I did, like, kind of pushed me to that point of, like, all right, I got to change. You know what I mean? And then, but, like, you know, the stealing and shit, even that, you know, I had a lot of regret about stealing from family and friends, stuff like that. But, like, I knew deep down, like, I didn't want to steal from them. You know what I mean? And, like, that kept me, that hurt for a while. But going through the steps and kind of forgiving myself, making amends to a lot of people, financial amends, too, which sucked. But it got me free.
Yeah.
Right? Kept me free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with just the general, you know, regret of hurting people, my loved ones. Yeah, like on one hand, like I think that I can use everything that I've done wrong to like produce a better life in the future for myself and others. But, you know, I'm only 35 days sober and like, you know, there's a lot of shit that just kind of haunts me. You know, some of the things that I was most ashamed of were like times that I've stolen from people to like get drugs, or sometimes I'd just be in a blackout and I would just steal random things that didn't make any sense to steal when I took Xanax. But like I think, you know, one of the times from my most recent relapse that like just makes me feel regretful and ashamed was like I just got a detox. I had gotten out of detox and my mom was like excited for me to come home. She like, you know, made the bed in the house that she was at and like brought a bunch of food in the fridge, and she hasn't seen me in forever. And I think she was looking forward to like a sense of security and having me there, because then she would know that I wasn't using, or, you know. But on the way home, my car just like veered into Jersey City and like almost autopilot just drove to get drugs. And I just kind of left her there waiting, like texting me like, where are you? And, you know, I was on drugs and I'd seen some of the texts, and I just, when the drugs were in me, it just got rid of my conscience completely temporarily. And like I just left her hanging there. So that's an example of what some of the situations I'm regretful of.
Yeah. Yeah, man, a mom's love, it's like, oof.
Yeah, that always.
We just walk all over.
That always hits deep.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
All right. How do you feel now in recovery?
I feel great, man. I mean, I'm on the couch with my boys, you know?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
My God, I feel amazing. I'll keep it short. I just feel incredible. I'm not full of self-hatred, shame. If those tiny feelings do pop up, they do not take me away with like they used to. I have my own little business. I have my own cool little YouTube channel I'm trying to do. I have a beautiful girlfriend. I'm there for my family. I'm there for the people that I come in contact with. But I'd say more so than the external things is that I feel internally at peace, and I'm not a slave to addiction anymore.
Yeah, I mean, for me, everything Dylan's saying too, but the freedom of like just getting up and going on like just my day-to-day shit, you know what I mean? Like just waking up, not having to put something in me to feel decent, going through a day, communicating with like normal people, you know what I mean? Working, like shit I never did, like that, you know, all around. Like, of course I can get sad or whatever in the moment, but at the end of the day, I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Who's got it better than us
True.
today?
True.
Who really, for real, like it can be the smallest little thing that I can get caught up on, but I'm like, to get back to the basics. I'm like, who's got it better than us?
True.
This is great.
Yeah.
A novel idea to go through life just communicating with regular people. You know what I mean, right? Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought that's
Really?
all I wanted?
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah, for me, I'm pretty fresh in sobriety. It wasn't too long ago that I was just in active addiction, but I'd say I feel depressed, you know, and constantly worried a lot of the time. And I have flashes of like, you know, slight peace or just slight contentment, but I feel hopeful. You know, I've been sober before in the past, and I got to a place of being at peace, and just hanging around guys like Dylan and seeing where they're at and what's possible in recovery makes me feel hopeful for what's in store.
Word, man. Word.
All right, what is something that surprised you about recovery?
I was surprised at, for me, I don't know what other pockets of recovery are like around the world or in the United States, but I was really surprised at just the amount of meetings. Like, you would be so surprised. It's almost like an underground society. There's like every church, every clubhouse, in a single town, you could have numerous meetings a week at different times. And I was surprised about just how big the recovery community is. And I was also surprised about how much support there was, that people actually took time to help me in my life. And so I was really surprised about that.
Yeah, I mean, I can get down with that too. I was surprised about how much fun you can actually have.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like with the most simple shit. Like, because you know, that's the whole reason why I kind of stayed drunk and high for a long time. So I was 24 and I was like, this is going to suck if I stop. But then I like got a taste of like fun, whether it's like literally going bowling with friends or like a hike.
You're always doing stuff. Like, I see his social medias, like you're always going on vacations, having fun.
Right, that's what I mean. Like I couldn't even like leave my hometown for like 2-3 years because I couldn't go a week without getting high. You know what I mean? So like just being able to go places without using, and then kind of what Dylan's touched on, like the amount of meetings there are. Like I've gone to Florida to visit family and like I'm at a meeting. I've gone down the shore for like 5 years. I grew up my whole life going down the Jersey Shore. And now I see people there and it's like, it's the same shit. It's 2.5 hours away, but like the same people get to see me now. And it's like, that's so cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is a little underground. Once a year, I see these same people. How was the year? You know what I mean? Like, that's so cool. You know what I mean? People from all over.
It is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was pretty much surprised at like how much better it is to be sober. Like when I first was introduced to rehab and recovery when I was 19, it was inconceivable to like the thought of giving up drugs because I felt like it was my greatest passion. I wouldn't admit that it was my greatest passion, but it really did feel like my greatest passion in life, and felt like I had to give up everything to just live this like lame, you know, this lame celibate life without drugs. Yeah, like in the last 10 years, all of my good memories are sober. I don't have any good memories using anymore. Maybe a few of those ones when I was 17, you know, with the MDMA beanbag chairs, but now it's just like me paranoid with my, you know, looking out of a peephole somewhere. And when I'm sober, you know, I get to hang out with good friends and laugh and meet cool people, go to concerts, and, you know, have fun. So
Yeah. That is like, you just brought up a good point. For those of you that don't know, everyone in recovery unanimously agrees that those last years of using are not fun, but somehow we just can't stop doing it. And that's the big paradox, is how can I not stop doing a thing that is very clearly detrimental and horrible? And that's where hell is, when you just are stuck in that for months, years, decades for some of us.
All right. What do non-addicts usually not understand about addiction?
I mean, that it's a choice, really. You know what I mean? Like, that's the typical thing that you hear. That's like the most common thing.
Yeah.
Is, why'd you pick up in the first place? You knew it was better. You know, you knew it was wrong. Why can't you stop? You know,
Maybe if you were stronger in your morals.
Right. I have a coworker to this day. He's so stubborn, and I don't even bother talking recovery because I don't want to be that guy to him. But like, they're weak-minded. That we're weak-minded. Yeah,
totally. I agree. That's probably the number one, and I understand it. I mean, myself, having been hurt by people in addiction,
Sure.
I want to say, like, get your crap together.
Mm-hmm.
But I've cried on my way to pick up. I have, like, I refuse to believe that me, Dylan, as a person, has less convictions and moral fiber than the other person. I just have a physiological reaction to mind-altering substance that the normal person doesn't. And I really believe that. I forget what it's called, but there's some science literature to back that up. Once you're, like, addicted, you're not operating from soul or truth. You're a prisoner. And I think in that way, you can sort of really understand your own life, your own addiction a lot better, and you can forgive and understand other people's addictions a lot better. Like, it's just, yeah, that's no choice. You're a prisoner. You're a prisoner.
Well put.
Yeah, it's been difficult for people to understand, like, the fact that I've been wholeheartedly committed to staying sober, yet I've still relapsed. There's kind of this moment of powerlessness that happens before I pick up drugs after a period of sobriety, that is just like, it's hard to combat. And people assume, family members, like other friends that aren't in recovery, assume that, like, I just wanted to use. But like Dylan said, like, I have been on the way to pick up drugs. Everything in me doesn't want to do it. I've been crying on the way there, but like, the decision in some part of my brain has been made, and like, my body is moving with that decision. But I really don't want to do it.
Yeah. It's grim, right? Even talking about it. It's
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Yeah. Bad memories.
Yeah.
All right. What advice do you give to someone trying to get off drugs?
For me, I guess it's like how hard you're really going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I've seen people like drink a lot and they say they like want to stop for good health or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like then I've seen like, you know, people who can't drink without shaking. You know what I mean? So like the first things first is like you gotta get medical help, because like
Gotta go detox.
all of us have probably tried to fucking just home detox or whatever.
Oh, then you give in after like a day and a half.
Yeah, I always ask people like, what's the best way to like get off opiates, and everyone would tell me like this, that, take Suboxone, take some Xanax, smoke a bunch of
Jail's the
weed.
best
Right.
way.
But like
Yeah,
the best like situation is like I needed to be like at least 5 days of like medical attention and like chilling.
Even
Applesauce.
that,
Even
fine,
with
that's
that,
still
even
tough.
with that,
Yeah.
you're still you know obsessing, but at least physically get it started, and then the whole whatever you want to do from there.
Yeah.
Librium, peanut butter, and graham crackers is the combination.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing too.
Mhm.
Sugar for a lot of, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people like, oh, eat a bunch of candy and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say for sure. Detox.
Yeah.
If I'm sure that anyone that finds interest in this and is actually listening to this advice, you're probably pretty addicted.
Mm.
I'd say detox is great. That's very common. Because if your own power you weren't able to stop, I don't foresee you being able to detox cold turkey wherever you're living, and then start the process. I'm not saying it hasn't been done, but I'd say 9 times out of 10 detox.
Yeah.
And the other piece of advice I just expound on or elaborate on is I would say do your best to be around other people that are similar to you, because the healing quality of being around people that know exactly your demons and how to be free from them, there's a huge healing quality to that. And that's why you have alcoholics with alcoholics, you have rape victims with rape victims, you have war vets with war vets. So for those of you that can or have the access to it, be around people that can help you, because you probably won't be able to do it alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, what's been helpful is just stepping down, like, the most extreme form of treatment being detox, which is kind of medically necessary for most people. For me, going to like some kind of rehab for like at least a couple weeks, because after I get out of detox, like, the Librium and the benzos that they've been giving me are still very much in my system and like altering the way that I think. And if I just go to detox, most of the time I've come out and I've gotten high that day. I had that problem in the last couple months. I went to detox 3 times, I think, and got high right after. And then finally I went to detox and then rehab just for a couple weeks, but it was enough time to like get me out of that mental obsession. And then I took the route of going to like a sober living, which is kind of a step down from that, and gets me, involved in recovery and around people that are going through the same thing. And then finally just kind of like being involved in some kind of program, AA for myself or NA, has been very helpful.
Word. Well said. What do you got for us, Greggy?
All right, let's see here. Please share some of your favorite memories now that you are sober.
I mean, dude, like getting a car on like with my own money.
That truck?
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's nice, but just like anything kind of wears off the novelty of it. But like everything from like basic shit, literally like getting a bank account, paying my own rent. I have a fiance now. Like those are like something like that's it right there. Like you're talking to someone who didn't have a bank account, like a license, a house. You know what I mean? Like the most basic shit to some people, to people like us, it's like a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's just the type of addict I am. Like, you know, like the
Same.
littlest normal thing in life is a big deal for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Same. I'm just the same exact thing, dude. I was just a booger of a human.
Booger boy.
Some people are they come into recover and they grieve about the loss of their life and prestige. There was no life or prestige
Yeah.
to lose, so
Yeah.
anything was an addition. Oh,
Right.
I'm showered or my clothes are clean, and so yeah, the fact that I have an apartment and I'm living somewhat healthy of a life is amazing.
Sure.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of like just these simple times of like being at a diner at 2 a.m., just having like this deep belly laughter with a bunch of friends and just laughing about like absurd shit or crazy memories or like, you know, pretty much anything. And just the contrast of those types of experiences to the misery of active addiction. And then, yeah, like getting to do things that I wouldn't normally do in active addiction. Like, you know, the last year for me, you know, I was sober, you know, just going to concerts and doing fun things and hanging out with friends. Just, you know, simple joys.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like that answer. It's so true. There's something really like beautiful about our community where we have been to hell. So we find beauty in some of the most simple things that maybe you would normally take for granted. And yeah, something simple for us going out to a restaurant or whatever. You would think that we're on drugs or drunk
Sure.
the way that some of us are. It's
Dude,
amazing.
I always laugh because I'm like, I literally trust my life with some of the most savage fucking people. Like some of the shit that we've done as addicts and alcoholics, I trust them with like my heart, my you know,
Yeah.
everything in my
Yeah.
heart. More than some of people I've known for my whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like if you knew the shit that we did
Dude, never
and you're
trust.
saying now I trust this person or whatever, like it's kind of crazy, but
It is.
that's how, you know, it works.
It's amazing how, yeah, someone recovers to the point that you trust them after you know they've stolen or
Right,
whatever.
right.
It's amazing. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I think that wraps it up. I really hope for those of you that are watching, you found something from this. If nothing else, you were entertained. I really appreciate my boys, Sam and Dylan and Greg, doing this. Is there anything else that you guys want to say here?
Not much, man, other than like it's awesome. I've known Dylan for 5 years. We got sober together at the same sober living house. And even though like I haven't really seen him that much, I've always watched him, you know, doing his thing. And he's been a big, you know, help for me, you know, on times when like I'm struggling or whatever.
Yeah, we only live literally
That's
2
it.
minutes
Yeah.
from each
And
other.
This is the first time I've seen him in like, you know, years almost, you know, which, you know, I'm not happy about, but I love it because we still catch up on the same
Yeah.
shit.
It means that your life is full, which
Right.
is good.
Yeah, well put.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I'm proud of these two guys for, you know, sticking with it for this many years and seeing the transformation. I've also known both of them pretty much since the beginning. Yeah, and, you know, likewise, you know, Dylan has helped a lot in the community. He's a big kind of essential member, like in the sober house community and in AA as well. And, you know, just has sponsored me at times in the past, and I see him help a lot of people. So I'm very appreciative of him.
And I'm still such an egomaniac, and as they're saying that, I'm like, that's right.
Yeah.
He's
Who's who's the
flexing.
boss?
He's in the middle for a reason.
Who's daddy
He's
He's in the middle for a reason.
Yeah, but the truth is, though, I share the same exact sentiment for my friends here. Greg behind camera. You want to come in camera real quick,
Yeah,
Greg?
yeah, get over here.
Show
Greg.
them who's here.
Get over here, Greg.
Hey.
Producer here.
These are all good dudes I would trust with my life. Each one of these men have shared secrets with me. I've shared secrets with them. We've all shared pain, joy, happiness, and there's a real healing quality to having friends like this. For those of you that haven't found a community like this yet, I urge and encourage you to find one. If you need help, you can DM me, and just keep working at it, because there's a lot of us out there. There's millions worldwide, and I think that it's available for you. I believe that it's a possibility for you. And if you just take that effort, be a little bit honest with yourself, keep going at it, you will find your crew, and you can get sober. So thank you guys so much, and yeah, love you.
All right.
Sick.
Sick.